I thought we would colonize the moon. You can't colonize something that isn't a tangible object. And then I realized everything's bullshit.
Whoa, let me stop you right there, CC. That's what we're dealing with today. Let's start at the beginning of his video to see how we got here.
1/1/24. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here. Chris from New York, Westchester County. Welcome to 2024.
07/01/24 morning. Jon Joe here from, well, the edge of England. Happy New Year to you as well, CC. Thank you. Moving on.
You know, as a former bull earther, I used to fight. Well, you know, I never did because there was no reason to. Nobody ever came up to me and said that there was the Earth is flat and that we're covered with a dome. There's no space. Space agencies don't exist. Nobody ever came up to me and said that.
Oh, well, you see, that's a good thing from your past. But the problem is that if you're seeing more people challenge these things while not actually attempting to understand things themselves, that means misinformation and conspiracy theories are getting worse, at least from your perspective. Luckily for us, this isn't the case in reality. The flat Earth is and has been in decline for a long time now, thankfully.
But as a former bull earther and understanding, you know, how I was so into space, I watched Star Trek.
I never got into Star Trek. I preferred Stargate myself.
I'm watching the Twilight Zone marathon right now. Yeah. I was there.
You were there?
I was there.
Where? The Twilight Zone or Star Trek? To be fair, I can see it, you know. Captain, navigation systems are not working. Well, what seems to be the problem? The ship's navigation's been tampered with. For some strange reason, it thinks the Earth is flat. And then CC comes in around the corner. Hey, I fixed your navigation system for you. And then they crash to their doom. You know these are films, right? Or do you mean that these films inspired you to love things like space? Because that's great. Seriously though, what inspired you to move to the dark side? Oh, sorry, that's Star Wars. What changed your mind about Globe Earth then?
I believed it. I thought we would colonize the moon. But as a former bull earther, I would be really disappointed. Shouldn't we be on the moon right now? Shouldn't there be a Wendy's up there? A McDonald's? Burger King? Shouldn't there be any advertisements at all on the moon? No, there's not. Because it doesn't exist.
Well, it would have been a bit early for that. I mean, who would they be serving? No one lives there yet. Why would they set up McDonald's with no one there yet? Is that to attract them? Build it and they will come? Anyway, I assume you mean like industrializing space, right? Like mining that would help fund the project to live there and build the society. And that would also help reduce the cost of refueling rockets to travel further without spending much trying to leave Earth's proximity. At the time, I'm sure there were actually some serious talks about colonizing the moon. It actually makes more sense to do it there first, before Mars, as it would act as the refueling station, which would help colonize Mars later. So don't worry, colonization is still somewhat in the works, just realistically too expensive and too dangerous to rush through it all.
You can't colonize something that isn't a tangible object. And then I realized everything's bullshit.
What do you mean it's not a tangible object? It's a big rock we can see in the sky. By all means claim it's not a moon like a natural satellite. I question that too. I remember looking up the distinction between a biplanetary system and a planet and moon system. And if you're wondering and not CC because he doesn't believe they exist, basically the center of mass of the objects must be outside of both celestial objects to be considered biplanetary, plus other general planetary definitions. If not, then the smallest is a moon. The moon dactyl is still a moon and not an asteroid because it orbits an asteroid, which also isn't a planet, so planets don't need to be involved to have a moon. Charon is commonly known to be the moon of Pluto. However, technically speaking, Pluto and Charon are a biplanetary system, or biplanetoid system, because they're dwarf planets, but it's the only biplanetary or planetoid system that we actually know of. I want to know though, if the moon isn't tangible, then what is it?
But as a former bull earther, I'd be pissed that I'm not produced any pictures or any moon landings on any other celestial objects, I'd be pissed. I mean, shouldn't there be, with all the technology we have right now in 2024, we should have a fucking camera up there. We should have had a camera up there 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. But there's not, and there never will be.
Try about 55 years ago in 1969. Maybe you missed these amazing images and videos taken from a camera attached to the lander. Oh, but let me guess, they're all fake and nothing I say will change your mind. What about these from Mars, Titan, and the flyby of Pluto? All faked as well? Wait, am I going to have to prove space itself to you? Okay, here's Tom Scott's video of garlic bread visiting space completely unedited. Don't worry, we're not going to watch it unedited here, but there's a link in the description.
As a former bull earther, I would be really disappointed with space advancements. I would be pissed. I would be questioning any of this, you know? Instead of fighting flat earthers, who the fuck cares? I would be pissed if I was still a bull earther. Why the fuck isn't there a camera up there? Why isn't there anything at all showing us a real picture of Earth? But there's not. There's nothing.
Actually, there are. Here is a picture of Earth. Sure, it probably has been edited, but here's a photo of me. There you go. This image is still an image of me. And don't worry, there are unedited images of Earth as well, but I just wanted to make a point. On the other hand, CC, you are allowed to be annoyed by the lack of your expectations being reached by Earth's space agencies. That's a part of reality. When your expectations are Star Trek, they would actually have to be faking it to reach that sort of expectation. That's why Hollywood can do it, and NASA can't. But it would be so much easier for them if they did do that, wouldn't it? And to be fair, then I'd be more suspicious if we were warp driving all over the galaxy.
As a former bull earther, apparently we sent a little rover up to Pluto. Why isn't there a camera on there?
A rover? You mean like the Mars rover? As far as I know, that hasn't happened. We did a flyby with the New Horizons spacecraft in 2015. I've already showed it you, but here it is again. But if we have landed a rover on Pluto, please let me know. I'd love to know that.
Why isn't there a camera on Pluto right now showing us the Earth and the Sun and the stars?
Because at that distance, the Sun becomes practically indistinguishable from other stars. However, that's not even mentioning that it would be insanely expensive and of little value compared to other projects that are worth more to science than providing more evidence for flat earthers to dismiss without any reason or just cause.
As a former bull earther, I would still be pissed that there's not a fucking picture from Mars of the constellations above us. How would it look like on a different celestial object? How would it look?
That is a very interesting question, one that I didn't even think of myself, but I can only imagine that due to the incredible distances to the stars, that it would honestly look about the same, the only difference being Mars wouldn't be in the night sky anymore because you're on it, and Earth would now be in the night sky. So that would be the only real difference, but I've looked it up and have been displaying them to you while I've been talking.
You'll never know, because as a flat earther, we all know none of it exists. Those are all fucking lights in the sky, just like you see on the ceiling, right here. That's all they are. You live in a planetarium, you cover with a dome on a flat land. Sorry.
Ah, so you're a flat earther that actually believes in the dome. Well, technically you're not a flat earther then, you're just a half earther. You're a hollow earth half earther. Hollow half earther. God, that's a bit difficult to say. Well then, just like the arguments about finite and infinite space, what's beyond the dome? How do rockets pass through the dome, and if they don't, where do they go? I don't know why I'm asking questions. CC has ended his video, so I'll end it with the southern stars. On a flat earth with a dome showcasing lights as a starry display, then what about the Southern Cross? The North Star still works because it's at the center of the disk, but the Southern Cross is a group of 4 stars that are the southernmost, so looking south from Australia and South America, you'd see the Southern Cross, which is what we'd expect on a globe Earth. But on a flat Earth, there is no way to get that to work without repeating effects throughout the dome's light patterns, which is an effect that you guys could actually demonstrate, but you can't do that. You wouldn't even try, and why? Because the results wouldn't support your views. Well, that was a wild ride through CC's little rant there, wasn't it? I do hope that he sees this and actually responds to answer the questions that I have about his hypothesis. Thanks for watching. If you find any more people with some crazy ideas like these, then feel free to let me know and I'll take a look when I can. Bye!